This month on World Hockey, we take you to Mönchengladbach, where home fans find they have a lot to shout about. We pay tribute to the architect of the German triumph. Bernhard Peters leaves the sport on a high. It's not just about winning at the World Cup, as South Africa proved. We attend the crowning ceremony for the King of Hockey. And Kookaburra goalkeeper Stephen Molan lets the cat out of the bag. Pakistan hockey captain Mohammad Saqlain has indicated that a number of senior players are considering retirement after another disappointing World Cup campaign in Germany. This is due to the team's lack of major title wins in recent times. The skipper has called for a foreign coach, preferably an Australian, to guide the team out of its crisis. The FIH has launched a project to improve Indian hockey. India has a long tradition in the sport, but its performance in recent times has not been up to the mark. The project has been developed by the FIH along with the Indian Hockey Confederation and the Indian Olympic Association. Korea have forced their way into the Champions Trophy with an impressive 4th place in the World Cup. According to the new qualification rule, the teams to book berths for the Lahore event are Australia, Germany, defending champions Netherlands, hosts Pakistan, Spain and Korea. England miss out despite finishing 5th at Mönchengladbach. Dubai Sports City has joined hands with the FIH to establish the World Hockey Academy. The facility will be based at the 5,000-capacity field hockey stadium being built at Dubai Sports City. Slated to begin operations in early 2008, the academy will offer a training base for teams as well as coaching and rehabilitation facilities. Mönchengladbach, a little 14th century German city lying halfway between Düsseldorf and the Dutch border, is home to Europe's biggest hockey stadium, the Warsteiner Park.
Welcome to the World Cup!
Built specifically for the BDO Hockey World Cup, the 12,000 capacity stadium was packed with fans looking to savour what promised to be a magnificent event. And they wouldn't have gone home disappointed with the fare on offer, as the best players in the world put their best foot forward in this 2-week-long extravaganza. The 12 teams were divided into 2 pools, with the top 2 from each group making it to the semi-finals. The opener set the tone, with hosts and defending champions Germany taking on India. And thanks to Shivendra Singh, who scored twice, India looked set for a big upset till the tables turned. Christopher Zeller tacked in the winning goal in the final minute as Germany staged a great escape. A big surprise was in store in another Pool B game when Korea upset Holland.
That's the ball game. And well might Korea celebrate. That is a very, very good win.
In Pool A, the Kiwis showed they meant business, handing out a 3-0 defeat to the more fancied Argentines, Hayden Shaw scoring a brace. More drama was to follow when Olympic champions Australia and European champions Spain squared off in Pool A.
Deflection. Beautifully done, perfectly worked.
Another big upset, Moritz Hendricks' men beating the #1 team in the world 3-1. On day 3, Korea continued their winning streak, beating England 1-0 to stay on top of Pool B.
And Korea has won this game, but it was a real war of attrition.
The Dutch were looking to bounce back to the top of Pool B when they met traditional rivals Germany.
And put away. De Nooijer did the work. Moritz, first time slap shot, fantastic.
Germany showed their resilience, coming back from 2-0 down to snatch a draw, leaving Dutch chances of a semi-final spot in jeopardy. The day also witnessed the Kookaburra's first win in the tournament. Slamming 4 goals past the hapless Argentines, the Australians made their title intentions clear. Day 5 saw Korea lose a golden opportunity to cement their top spot in Pool B. Playing South Africa, the Koreans went into half-time a goal up, but were eventually forced to share the points with Paul Revington's gritty side. In Pool A, Spain met Pakistan. Rehan Butt opened the scoring for the men in green, and his team withstood the Spanish pressure to pull off a 2-all draw. Both Spain and Korea witnessed a reversal in fortunes the next day. Needing a victory to remain in contention, the Spaniards cut short the Kiwis' brilliant unbeaten run. And Korea got the better of a struggling India.
Jang once again! Oh, Jong Jang, what a time to strike.
Another last-minute capitulation by the Indians, helping the Korean cause. With the business end of the tournament approaching, the big boys flexed their muscles. First up in Pool A, a clash of Oceania rivals Australia trounced the New Zealanders 7-1 to become the first team to qualify for the Final Four. A crucial Pool B game. The Dutch hammered India 6-1 to keep their semi-final hopes alive.
Back him up, make it 5. Well, that's fantastic. That is just fantastic.
The Dutch were back in form thanks largely to short corner specialist Taike Taikema's 5 goals. A big relief to the man from Friesland.
The whole penalty corner routine is something you have to practice many years. In the beginning of the tournament we were struggling, or I was struggling a bit with the pitch, it's a soft pitch. And I wasn't flicking well, and luckily a couple of games ago I realized I had to change, and I did that, and since then it's going a bit better.
But the Netherlands' progress to the semis depended on the outcome of the match between Germany and Korea. A draw would put them out of the contest, a win for either team would get them into the Final Four. Understandably, there was tension in the stands. But both the Germans and Koreans refused to take any risks and played out what looked suspiciously like a well-engineered draw.
Last 15 seconds. We've had about 40 passes between these three. The Netherlands are out of the semi-finals.
So the Dutch relegated to the 5th to 8th spot playoffs. In Pool A, Spain was up against Japan. Needing only a draw to book their spot in the semis, Spain duly made it through with a hard-fought win. Let's take a look at the final standings in Pool A. Australia and Spain booking their semi-final berths with relative ease. In Pool B, things weren't quite so straightforward. Germany and Korea went through, the Dutch just missed out. In the first semi-final, Australia were up against a Korean team that had yet to lose a match in this tournament. And it was the Koreans who took the lead. The Kookaburras held on to their nerves despite an impressive Korean challenge.
Michael McCann, goalkeeper out. Travis Brooks, Michael McCann, 4-2, and that is the ball game and the place in the World Cup final.
The second semi-final between Germany and Spain was an equally engrossing encounter. Backed by the capacity crowd, Germany twice took the lead, but Spain responded magnificently, forcing a penalty shootout.
Overdid it. Easy save, and Germany are into successive World Cup finals.
India earned their only win of the tournament, beating South Africa 1-0 to avoid the wooden spoon. Jubilation for Japan as the 14th ranked team in the world beat Argentina to finish 9th. The Netherlands completed a disappointing World Cup campaign with a win over New Zealand for 7th place. England outplayed Pakistan to cap an impressive World Cup performance with a 5th place finish. Spain won the bronze, getting the better of the surprise semi-finalists Korea via a golden goal. The stage was set for a great final, with Olympic champions Australia looking to dethrone world champions Germany on their home turf. The Warsteiner hockey park was packed to the rafters with German fans praying for victory.
Now Christopher Zeller, he's looking dangerous there, and he scored the goal for Germany. They've struck midway in the first half to take the lead in this World Cup final. Now the first penalty corner, and can Australia get the equalizer? Yes, they have. And here is the push, the direct one, and Australia have the lead.
Yes, Naylor has scored.
Troy Elder has the ball. Sliding tackle from Cronate. Elder gets past him. He has a chance for Australia's 3rd goal. Yes, indeed. Australia have done it in great elan, in great style. And a goal there for Germany. It comes out of the blue, really. What a deflection, and Germany have bounced back. And a backhand taken, and what is that? It's the equalizer for Germany, 3-all. Germany going on to the attack now. Here's a chance for them. They've got the 4th goal. They are rejoicing. They're jumping up. And, well, they are the world champions for the 2nd time running.
So Germany extended its hold on the World Cup, but not before a match of wildly fluctuating fortunes. A disappointing finish for Barry Dancer's men. Joy for Bernhard Peter's young side.
I can't describe the feeling now because there are too much impressions now, and I think maybe tonight or tomorrow I can say what we have won. Yeah.
A sensational win for Germany, who became the first side to win the World Cup on home soil. Later in the programme, the side who may not have won any matches but did capture a lot of hearts. And we attend the crowning ceremony for the undisputed King of Hockey. That's after the break. Germany topple Australia from the top of the Sahara World Hockey Team rankings after defending their World Cup title at home. The Aussies trail by 20 points. Spain move up 1 place after winning the bronze at Mönchengladbach. After finishing 7th in the World Cup, the Dutch slip from 2nd to 4th. Pakistan hold on to their 5th place ahead of Korea, who move up 2 places by virtue of their top 4 finish. India's dismal showing sees them drop a place to 7th. Argentina also pay the price for a lacklustre performance. They're 8th. England's 5th place finish improves their rankings by 2 places to 9th. New Zealand completes the top 10. Netherlands maintain their hold on top of the women's Sahara World Hockey Team rankings after a bronze medal in the Champions Trophy. Despite finishing 4th at Amstelveen, Argentina hold on to 2nd. Eventual winners, Germany, moved to 3rd position, replacing Australia. China's silver medal sees them close in on Australia. New Zealand hold on to 6th place, ahead of Korea, who are 7th. Followed by Asian rivals Japan, just 95 points behind. England, the World Cup qualifiers winners, take 9th place, and Spain round off the top 10. Germany's victory in Mönchengladbach marked the end of coach Bernhard Peter's 6-year reign as national coach and a 21-year association with German hockey. It was an emotional moment for the 46-year-old, who ended up as the only coach to take his team to back-to-back World Cup titles after their magnificent win in Kuala Lumpur 4 years ago.
Fantastic win for us, and good to say goodbye. This it's a dream. All here is fantastic, the crowd and the emotional victory. So I'm enthusiastic and happy.
Peters is turning to soccer management, taking up a role with regional side TSG Hoffenheim. But the German Soccer Federation is already believed to be in talks with him to assist national coach Joachim Löw. He leaves German hockey at its healthiest, having built up the side from scratch after the Athens Olympics. Despite successive defeats over the past couple of years, the coach refused to waver from his policy of building up for the World Cup. In the end, his faith in his side was well rewarded.
It's like a dream come true. It's for him the perfect ending of his coaching career with us as a hockey coach, and yeah, we're all just amazed.
Now a young side brimming with talent is already looking forward to the next big challenge, the Beijing Olympics in 2 years' time. The only question is, who'll be steering the ship? At the other end of the scale was South Africa. Ranked 10th in the world, they came into the World Cup looking to create a few upsets and break into the big league. They started off well enough, but fell away towards the end and finished bottom of the heap. It was a huge disappointment for the young and inexperienced side.
The thing is, we don't play a lot of international games. When was the last game we played before we came here? Was in Commonwealth Games against Scotland. That was our last international game. So you can imagine if you don't, it's like any team rocking up to a Soccer World Cup, not having played an international game for 6 months. You're going to go to a World Cup, you're going to get thumped, you're going to get beaten.
For Paul Revington, at 32, the youngest coach in the World Cup, it's always been a battle to get his side the right kind of exposure.
Well done, nice base.
We do find it tough. I think sitting at the bottom of Africa from a travel point of view makes it even more difficult. You know, if you're a little closer to Europe, you could pop across and find games, but we sort of find ourselves in between Europe and Australia and Asia, and it's difficult if you don't have finance all the time.
Despite the obvious lack of match practice, the South Africans showed they had no shortage of talent. They gave the Dutch a fright in their opening game before going down 2-0. Then they held world number 6 India and eventual semi-finalists Korea to battling draws. Just as it seemed they were on course for a top 8 spot, their performances dipped and they ended up taking the wooden spoon.
You know, it's always difficult if you're not training together all the time. From a technical point of view, you're probably always going to arrive at the tournament you know, a yard or two off the major teams. Yeah, and I suppose in essence to break into the top 8 at any one of these tournaments, you have to be able to, you know, to compete against any side that's a little closer to you.
Despite the poor finish, the World Cup showed that there are enough positives for South African hockey, and that as the sport grows in popularity, the team will have a wider base to choose from.
Before, it was definitely regarded as an elite sport, so
if you could afford to play hockey, you could play hockey. But I think there's a lot of development programs in our country at the moment, so we're trying to make sure that from grassroots root level, everyone has the opportunity to play hockey. And yeah, at the moment, it's still, we could still do with a bit more funding from the government. But the sport is definitely growing, especially at school level. It's a huge sport.
The next time they come to the World Cup, the South Africans are hoping their lap around the field is not just a thank you gesture.
De Nooijer again. De Nooijer, still De Nooijer. Oh, what a super goal!
The Netherlands may have had a poor 7th place finish in the World Cup, but their talisman, Toon de Nooijer, remains on top of the charts. The Dutch ace was named World Hockey Men's Player of the Year for a record 3rd time.
Men's Player of the Year is Toon de Nooijer.
He was presented the award by the IOC president Jacques Roger in Mönchengladbach. De Nooijer's 3rd title in 4 years confirms his standing as the undisputed king of the game.
It's unbelievable, and I would like to thank all the players that voted for me. It's a great honor to be again World Player of the Year, now 2006. Yeah, 3 and 4 years, it's unbelievable. It's a very, very nice and a big honor for me.
The 31-year-old is one of the greatest players of all time and remains the mainstay of the Dutch attack. Earlier this year, De Nooijer played a big role as the Dutch team claimed a record-equaling 8th Champions Trophy in Terrassa. It was the Dutch midfielder's 6th Champions Trophy gold. He also has 2 Olympic gold medals, as well as a World Cup title in the bag. So what keeps him ticking?
Just have to live for your sport and keep fit, because it's a game with a lot of pace. You have to be very fit to play good hockey. And I think we're doing it at the moment in the Netherlands, and I look after myself. Yeah, when I still like and love to play it, I think it goes okay.
Yes, things are not going too badly for the Dutch master. He's now trained his sights on Beijing, where he'll be hoping to help his side regain the Olympic gold. Stephen Molam is one of the finest goalkeepers in the world today. He's also one of the game's great personalities. World Hockey caught up with him immediately after he'd kept a clean sheet against Pakistan in a World Cup League game and found out just what he carries in his bag.
Righto boys, here we go, my goalie kit. It's a bit smelly, it's just been used against Pakistan. It does smell a little. First and foremost on the top, the elbow pads. I've got little pin arms, so a lot of goalkeepers aren't using elbow pads nowadays, but they tend to be a bit bigger than me, so anything to put a bit of bulk on. The old smock. The crest on it for Australia. Beautiful, World Cup, 06 on it. All right, coming through the chest protection. Kind of looks a little bit like a turtle, I guess. Gets in the way of the pill a bit. All right, there goes a lolly right there, thrown at me. Coming through the 2 most important parts that I reckon, the old Jats Crackers protectors. All right, these things are foremost. I've forgotten them once or twice before, I wouldn't go in. Yeah. So, all a little bit wet and stinky at the moment, that's all good. Moving through, shoes as if everybody else. Set of kickers. Bit of gluing and things like that on them. The gloves, people say I use my hands too much. Michael Boyce. Get in the way of a couple, sometimes they don't. All right, moving through to the leg pads. Once again, look at these pins. They're very skinny, so I need a bit more width because of these leg pads. All right, I guess moving on, you got the skid lid. And I guess there's a fair few strikers in the world trying to hit that on me, trying to knock me out. And there's a fair few of my own teammates trying to knock me out with it. It's got the 2 numbers on it, 17 and 8 for Andrew Smith and Craig Victory. And last but not least, the stick that I've had since Athens. 2004 I used it, all 2004, I still continue to use it now. So, God forbid it breaks. That's it, boys. That's my gear. Now I've got to pack it back up.
And that's all from this episode of World Hockey. Next month, we take you to Madrid for all the action from the Women's World Cup.